All right, today we're going to focus on relationships between organisms. The type of relationship two organisms have gives them a certain name. You're going to want to turn to this paper that says interactions between organisms. So I'm going to go through a PowerPoint and you are going to fill out each of these squares for each of the PowerPoints. So I'll say like square number 1, square number 2, square number 3, square number 4, square number 5, and square number 6. For each of these squares, you need to define what it is, draw a picture of it, and give an example is what you need to do for each one. Sorry, this down here is that to remind me when I'm grading them that it's each worth 3 points on that. So again, write the name, and I'll tell you, write this in square, the first square. And then give me the definition that will be on the PowerPoint, draw a picture and an example. So kind of at the end, this is kind of, a student's example. So this is kind of what it should look like at the end of the lesson. So let's begin. All right, talking about relationships between organisms. So we interact all the time with everything around us. Everything on Earth doesn't exist in its own little bubble. Species interact every day. That interaction is a vital part of how organisms develop and change over time. This is from a movie where he's stuck on this island and he's interacting with different things. I think his plane crashes on that. So just think about today. How many different organisms did you interact with? So take a minute and think about that. Right? You probably interacted with parents. You probably interact with your friends. If you have animals at your house, you've interacted with them. When you ate your breakfast, that's interacting with a lot of organisms, right? Your breakfast and food come from things that are grown. And also mosquitoes. Ooh. So can you live, grow, and develop without these interactions? Today we're going to learn about the interactions and their different names. So these are the boxes. You have these same boxes in your packet. So the top left of your box, title it predation. The middle box in the top, you're going to title it competition. The top right is symbiosis or symbiotic relationships. And there's 3 different types of symbiotic relationships. There's commensalism, bottom left, mutualism, bottom center, and parasitism. We're going to focus on each of these. If you need to pause the video anytime to write down definitions, please feel free. So predation or predator-prey relationships. Predation includes all win-lose interactions in which one organism consumes all or part of the other. So here in this top picture, what would be the predator? Right? The predator is the bear and the fish is its prey. So the bear wins in this relationship, right? He gets food and fed, but the poor fish loses because he's no longer living. Here we have an owl and a mouse. Who's the predator? The owl. Prey, mouse. Okay, here we have a bunny sitting in some grass. Who's the predator and who's the prey? Yes, the grass is the prey because the bunny's eating the grass. That organism dies when the bunny consumes it. Competition. Competition is where 2 organisms want the same thing. They're competing for the same organism. In a competition, right, we're gonna either have like a win-win relationship, or we could get where we have a win-lose relationship, or sometimes, right, it could be they both lost. So they're competing for something. They want food, light, water, shelter, mates. So they're competing for something. So here we have trees. What are they competing for? The light. Okay, here we have, it looks like a wasp and a bee, right? They're competing for the nectar or the flower, right? Here we have 2 primates. I don't know what they're competing for, but they definitely don't look happy. All right, symbiotic or symbiosis relationships. There are 3 different types. Symbiotic relationships are close and dependent, mean one depends on the other organism. The 3 are commensalism, mutualism, and parasitism. So let's talk about mutualism. So this was your bottom middle one. Mutualism is both species benefit. They help each other. Here we have ants in an acacia tree. The ants get the nectar from the tree, but the ants also protect the tree from other animals or organisms that could harm it. So that would be a mutualism relationship where they both benefit. And again, don't forget to define, draw a picture, and give examples. So here's an example, ants in an acacia tree, and you can think of other examples. So for sure, pause this as needed. Commensalism, that's the top left. One species benefits and the other one, it's not harmed or benefits. So it's like a win. Yeah, one organism definitely wins. The other organism, it doesn't win. It doesn't get anything, but it doesn't lose anything either. So an example would be an orchid and tree. So here we have an orchid growing in the tree. The orchid benefits from the tree because it has a habitat, has somewhere to live and grow. The tree isn't harmed by the orchid. It's not hurting it, but the tree is also not getting any benefits. It's not getting any protection or anything from the orchid. Ooh, and our last one, everyone's favorite, parasitism. So parasitism, one benefits, one loses out. So one species benefits, meaning gets food, nutrition, shelter, and the other one that is, it's the other organism it's interacting with is harmed. It's getting either irritation, it's getting sick. So here is a tick, right, inside a dog. Ooh, so gross. So the tick benefits, right, because it's getting blood or food from the dog. But the poor dog is being harmed, right? It has something really uncomfortable and it's losing some of its blood. So parasitism is a win-lose relationship. So why would organisms live in a symbiotic relationship or close? One is for food, right? Like a tick and a dog. The tick needs food, so it needs to live or survive on another organism in order for it to receive food. Resources, okay? So meaning like a competition, or maybe a certain organism relies on another organism for shelter, for food. Habitat, that's going to be kind of like the plant. Protection, we'll learn some more about those as well. Transportation, we're going to learn about a fun one on that. Transportation. And then cleaning. So different reasons why they would have a close relationship. All right, hopefully you learned something new. I kind of flew through that. So again, definitely go back and pause and make sure that you have your packet, the page interaction between organisms, all filled out, because you're going to want to use this to help you with the worksheet tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to do the animal. Here I can show you. So tomorrow you're going to do the animal relationships, and you're going to have to fill in the blanks, define and give an example. And then here you need to think of your own example. So for example, for parasitism, I did a happy and a sad face. But you're going to need to think of your examples for that one. And then you're going to, you have a task up here that you need to complete. So make sure you follow the examples here and complete the task. And then you got a whole bunch of examples and you're going to talk about them. So make sure you have your interactions paper handy. So when you read these examples, you know what type of symbiotic relationship. Is it mutualism? Meaning they both benefit. They both get something from the relationship. Commensalism, one benefits, one doesn't benefit, but it's not harmed or hurt. Or parasitism, one definitely benefits, one does not benefit at all. It is harmed. But watch out for this. There's 10 trick questions that are actually going to be predation and competition. So watch for those and circle those 10 ones. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.